Lorenza. I've been in the UAE for almost 13 years.
I'm Dirk, and obviously. I've been in the UAE since 2018. I work in outdoor education with a lot of kids. Lauren here, she works in finance.
Yeah.
So we've always had rescue dogs my entire life growing up. So I've never known life without a dog. Then we ended up with Acacia, and then when Acacia died, I was like, the house feels really empty. So that day I was scrolling through Facebook and found all these, which at the time their shelter was 20 minutes away from here. We walked in there and I saw Frodo first, and I was like, oh my God.
When he looked at me after seeing Frodo, I know he's in love.
Yeah.
So
we're like, well, let's take him for a walk. And all my days, he just pulled like a freight train.
So strong.
And I was about to go and have surgery on my neck. And we're like, he's too strong. We met Sky. And we thought, let's take her for a walk.
Yeah.
She was like Tigger, bouncing off the ceiling.
She keeps bouncing. And so I was like, this is too much energy for me.
What about the white shepherd there?
Yeah.
Because he was calm as well.
Yeah. We saw Casper and he was
calm. And we're like,
just perfect.
this is the energy we're looking for.
And we saw him, we walked him, we loved it. We were driving back and we messaged the shelter like we want Fargo was his name then.
So they brought him over, they did their visit, and we signed on the dotted line. But he'd always had a roommate at the shelter.
Yeah.
Always. So there was never a moment at the shelter where we didn't have a roommate. So we're like, well, maybe he just feels lonely. So we thought about getting him a friend. We heard Sky was still available, but she was at a boarding facility in Dubai now.
Yeah.
So we went down to Woof, met Sky, and the interaction we'd been looking for between Casper and the other dogs wasn't there. But as soon as he saw Sky, it was like they were long lost best friends.
Yes.
And then we got Frodo.
Yeah.
I'd seen online that he was still at the shelter.
Yeah.
And I was like, So I was like, let's just take a day trip and we'll maybe take him for a walk at least or something. Just and socialise him a bit. So maybe there's a better chance for him to get adopted. And he was so good with these two and he didn't pull anymore. I turned around to Lauren and said, how do you feel about fostering
him?
And it was strictly just a foster at that moment. It was 4 weeks in where we had the conversation. I think adopting is for us. Casper, we found when we brought him home, he doesn't like going out in the dark by himself. Frodo didn't know how to play. He was confused by play. He'd lived 4 years in a cage.
He doesn't know what a ball is, what's it like to be in a house.
But Sky, she was surrendered. So we don't know the full background. We think she was purchased as a puppy, and then they realised that she grew to be bigger than a puppy.
It's just we fell in love with all three of them the first time, and it just took a bit of time for us to fully gather them. But at that time it wasn't realistic to have all three of them together. In walking, I was like, how will I walk 3 dogs without you, you know? When he left for 3 days, I realized I could actually walk them one by one. Like I could actually do that, and this is actually doable. I have to do it my own way, and he does it his way, and it works. Especially with rescue dogs, there can be a bit of anxiety. So like when we first started, we tried 3 hours with Casper, and then we kind of escalated until we were like, okay, so this is the sweet spot. When we had Sky, it was a bit different because she would show her anxiety by chewing on stuff.
Hence we have a patch on the sofa.
So and that we adjust accordingly. Like we don't like throw her or like return her because she's eating our furniture. No, it's not really a deal breaker for us, especially when you can do something about it. Really, the community of people who's having dogs it's unbelievably supportive, to be honest.
A dog doesn't need a lot of space, like they need that much space. And that's a big dog, needs that much space. That's all they need. They don't need a garden. The garden's a luxury.
To learn about the dog on the earlier stage after you've adopted them, build up the tolerance, like don't leave for full day the first time, and then it's like try to do it gradually. Especially for people who work full-time as well in the office, get the breed that kind of suits the case.
Yeah.
The misconception that they're aggressive or like their trauma is like irreversible. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
And there's a trainer in the US, Tom Davis. His philosophy is there's no bad dogs. No such thing as a bad dog, and I truly believe that.
Yeah.
It's all about 9 times out of 10 it's going to be lack of structure. Give a dog structure, it's going to go, oh, okay, I can calm down now then. They'll naturally follow you if you show leadership. If you don't show any sort of leadership, they're going to try and be that protector of you, and they're going to try and protect their home. Yeah.
Dogs by nature are really good creatures. Through no fault of their own, things happen that led them for them to react the way they are reacting. You can buy a pet from a breeder. If you don't take care of them well enough, don't try to put them in an environment that's suitable, they will be aggressive.
Yeah. I think anyone that wants to say our rescue dogs are aggressive, look at this one crying right now because we're not giving her attention.
She wants to be
Signs of wanting treats.